Hello everyone. So finally, we're coming together to celebrate probably the most important event in Jewish history and probably in the history of the world, the day of Jewish people receiving the Torah and becoming a nation. So, event that happened 3,000 years ago. How come that there are so many people still so committed to the values of Torah and refusing to convert and refusing the arguments of other religions to convert and believe into their beliefs? How come that there's so many Jewish people throughout the history were able and were ready to sacrifice their life rather to believe something else different from what their parents taught us? This is the question. Why our religion, why Judaism, how is it different from any other religions of the world? And again, we're coming to the point that we're unique. We as Jewish people and our religion and the land of Israel and our history is unique. You might look around and see many billions of people who believe in Christianity, who believe in Islam, and the little voice inside of you might ask, could it be true? Like, if so many people, billions of people believe in something, it must be true. In comparison of just a few thousand people who believe in authentic Orthodox Judaism. So the answer is, it's irrelevant how many billions and billions of people believe in an event that happened many years ago. There always will be people who choose to believe or not to believe. What matters is how many people were present at the time when the event took place. And here, how we are unique. When Torah was given, Torah is very careful to describe that it was given in front of entire nation. Not just few people, entire nation, about 3 million people. Look at the book of Exodus, chapter 20. And you will see Torah is very careful to describe that it's not God who spoke to Moses and Moses came down and said, I just had a vision and hear what God said. No, God appeared in front of the entire nation. It's hard to beat such an event. When somebody comes to you and says, I saw a dream, that God came to me in a dream, or something happened at night in the forest, by definition that nobody can confirm, it's up for grabs. If the person who tries to sell you this information, this revelation, if he's charismatic, if he sounds convincing, you might choose to believe or might not. It's up to you. You don't have obligation. It's a matter of your choice. But if event happened in the middle of a day in front of an entire nation, which means by definition it was very easy to verify, and from there on, unbroken tradition from parents to children tell them, yes, it happened to us. It happened to us, and I'm telling you. And they in turn tell to their children, it's very hard to go against your logic and say and choose not to believe. It's not a matter of choice anymore, I choose to believe or not. It's a matter of your intellect and logic. If such event happened in the middle of a day in front of an entire generation, and it's consistently the same information without any arguments being transmitted from one generation to another, it's a very strong argument for. So again, it doesn't matter how many believers in any Narishkeit are now in the world. What matters is how many people were present at the time of event. And if you look in any other religions, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, they all started with one or few people. It was either a dream or kind of prophecy in the middle of the night, in the forest, in the darkness, or there was a break between the event and the people who started telling you about the event, a break of few generations. Then it's up to you. Again, it's up to you. You want to believe? It might happen, but might have not happened, as opposed to event that happened in the eyes of entire generation. And to illustrate you this point, let me tell you a story. There was once a rabbi in a little Jewish town, and And Rabbi got old and he passed away. And Rabbi had two sons. And naturally, after his passing, they started arguing who will be the successor, who will be the next rabbi. So half of the congregation wanted one son to be a rabbi, and half of the congregation wanted other son to be a rabbi. They didn't know what to do. So one of the sons had an idea. Next morning he comes to shul and he says, guys, I had a dream. God came in a dream to me and told me that I should be the successor of my father. So he was very convincing. He doesn't lie. He's a religious person. Religious person don't lie, right? And the congregation said, it must be true. We must choose him as a rabbi. Except for one elder gentleman in the back, he says, I have a question. If God really wanted to resolve this argument by appearing to you in a dream and telling you that you should be a rabbi, shouldn't he instead come in a dream to every one of us and tell every one of us that you should be a rabbi? This is exactly a point. God came in front of every one of us 3,000 years ago and made sure there's no doubt in what we see and what we hear. God gave the Torah on this day in front of the entire nation. And from there on, we have unbroken chain of tradition till nowadays. So let's hope that we will be worthy of our previous generations and ancestors, and we'll be able to transmit the same authentic Torah to next generation. Have a good Yom Tov of Shavuos, day receiving the Torah.